that time of year where there's going to be off-season rumors, trade mocks, and all the consistent stuff every year. And in today's video, we got one trade idea for every team not in the 2024 NBA Finals, meaning no Celtics or Mavericks. But they could make a trade in this video, no one Bleacher Report. But anyways, Atlanta Hawks, we start off with. Atlanta Hawks received Dyson Daniels, Brandon Ingram, pick 21, a 2025 first-round pick, blah, 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 in exchange for DeJounte Murray and Bogdan Bogdanovic. Now, if I'm the Hawks, I want to keep Bogdan Bogdanovic simply because he's a good off-ball scorer and he can shoot the ball extremely well. I think his value alone, though, there's a lot of teams that would be willing to trade for him because of his shooting. You could get a decent package from the Magic. So I wouldn't combine him and DeJounte Murray. Now, if it was Clint Capella, I'd understand, but I would be hesitant on adding him to a DeJounte Murray package. Brandon Ingram's obviously the best player of the deal, but he only has 1 year of control. Pick 21 doesn't really mean much. Dyson Daniels, he could be the backup point guard, but decent trade. I'd probably give that a D. I'd probably give it a B-. The Brooklyn Nets. DeJounte Murray again. Brooklyn Nets received DeJounte Murray in exchange for Dorian Finney-Smith, Dennis Schroeder, and 4 draft picks, including a few seconds. Potential seconds, I should say. I don't know why the Brooklyn Nets would do this. Not competing anytime soon. Need to enter a full rebuild, and giving up assets to get a player like DeJounte Murray that has been at his best when he was rotting away in San Antonio, not playing good competitive basketball. Sorry for the voice gag. That's when he was at his best. Do you really just want to live in mediocrity, or do you want to actually rebuild? Not an ideal trade for the Nets. I don't know why they do that. The Charlotte Hornets. Charlotte Hornets received Zeke Naji, pick number 28 and 56 in this year's draft. The Nuggets received, I'm going to try and pronounce it for y'all, but I apologize in advance. Vasilij Micic. I hope I got that right. I don't really know what the point of that trade is, but yeah. The Hornets could do a lot more. Chicago Bulls. Bulls received Cole Anthony, Jet Howard, and 2 second-round picks in exchange for Zach LaVine. It's kind of sad how Zach LaVine's market has died down this much to where this is a package that could get him. I don't know if the Bulls would actually make this trade, but yeah, it's just sad for Zach LaVine. I really don't know what the Bulls are going to do. You're not going to compete with your roster anytime soon. All your good players are guards, and Lonzo Ball's coming back. There's another guard. In your center, Vucevic, he is a waste of space. So I don't know what the Bulls are going to do, but it's just sad to see Zach LaVine. Cleveland Cavaliers. They received Dorian Finney-Smith for Ty Jerome, Georges Niang, and pick number 20. If they could do this trade, A+. This is an A+ trade for the Cavs. And pick number 20 for the Nets, that's a good pickup. So yeah, I actually like that trade. That's probably been the best trade so far. Something nice and simple. The Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets received Lauri Markkanen in exchange for Michael Porter Jr., pick number 28, and pick swaps in 2026 and 2028 and 2030. Second-round picks in 2025, 2026, and 2029. Honestly, Lauri Markkanen's fit on the Nuggets would be pretty decent. I don't know. Him and Aaron Gordon would be confusing as two players playing next to each other, as they're both at their best playing the 4. I don't know if I would do this if I were the Nuggets. Lauri Markkanen's obviously a perfect complementary star, but I don't know. I'm not loving it. But I do think the Nuggets, if they want to compete next year, need to trade Michael Porter Jr. for more depth. And doing a 1-for-1 swap isn't ideal, or isn't what I do. Detroit Pistons. They received Tim Hardaway Jr. I told you Dallas was going to be in it. I told you Dallas or Boston was going to be in it. I knew Bleacher Report was lying when they said 28. Anyways, Tim Hardaway Jr., pick number 58. So Mavericks are trading 3 future seconds and Tim Hardaway Jr. in exchange for pick number 53. This is a salary dump for the Mavericks. I mean, this is literally a Mavericks trade without saying a Mavericks trade. So they're not even playing Tim Hardaway Jr. anymore, and I believe he makes $18 million. But yeah, good salary dump. Golden State Warriors. Alex Caruso to the Warriors in exchange for Moses Moody, Gary Payton II, and the 2026 lottery protected first round. I don't love it. I mean, Gary Payton Jr. provides basically the same amount of defense as Caruso. I get Caruso's a way better player, but grand scheme of things, do you really want to trade away Moses Moody, a first round pick, and Gary Payton Jr. for one player? No. Houston Rockets. They received Jimmy Butler in the number 15th pick in the 2024 draft in exchange for Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, and the 3rd overall pick. There's a lot to digest with this deal. But the Rockets already have so many young wings. The Rockets are going to make a trade for any star player. It needs to be Donovan Mitchell or Devin Booker. Those are anyone that plays the shooting guard position and plays it well and is an elite scorer. Since they struggle on the perimeter and outside, the 3-ball, shooting threes, all of that. That's where the Rockets struggle as a team. Jimmy Butler is a great player. He's a slasher, though, and a mid-range scorer. I don't know how his fit in Houston would be. I think that's just more to say something rather than an actual trade idea. Indiana Pacers. So the Pacers would receive Mikal Bridges in exchange for TJ McConnell, Benedict Mathurin, Jarris Walker, second, first, and a bunch of seconds. Honestly, I never really thought about this, but if the Pacers are willing to trade Benedict Mathurin and Jarris Walker for Mikal Bridges, if I'm the Nets, I'd jump on that in a heartbeat. And if I'm the Pacers, I actually like this trade a lot. Ooh. Yeah, this is a good trade. I think Mikal Bridges fits that team perfectly. I actually really like that trade a lot. I don't know. That could just be me. I don't know if the Pacers want to trade Benedict Mathurin and Jarris Walker, though. That's my only thing about that trade. The Clippers, Kelly Olynyk for Norman Powell. I mean, good salary dump, I guess, but what are you going to do with Kelly Olynyk? You already have Plumlee, Dice, and Zubac. Los Angeles Lakers, they received Donovan Mitchell for Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, Jalen Hood-Schifino, and 2 first-round picks. If the Cavaliers make this trade, they need to be canceled from the NBA and disowned as a franchise. The Memphis Grizzlies receive Isaiah Jackson in exchange for Santi Aldama and Zaire Williams. Sorry for another voice crack. I don't know what's worse, my voice cracks or the fact that outdoors there's cars driving 100 miles an hour in a 30. This is ridiculous, but anyways, not a terrible trade at all. Isaiah Jackson, he'd be a good fit. But the Grizzlies need depth, and trading 2 players for 1 isn't great. Miami Heat, pick swaps. I'm not really going to pay attention to those because I don't really care about draft pick swaps. I'm not for trading draft picks because if you're a good management, you use those draft picks and you draft star players. Milwaukee Bucks, they get Ayo Dosunmu for Pat Connaughton and pick number 23. The Bulls wouldn't do that. I don't even know why you would think they would do that, but I mean, if you're the Bucks, that's a good trade. But Minnesota Timberwolves. Does this say Aaron Nesmith, Jarris Walker, and the 32nd pick in the draft for Jaden McDaniels? What? Why would they trade Jaden McDaniels? See, Bleacher Report. It's things like this that you do that makes it impossible to take these articles serious at times. Because why would the Timberwolves... Keep in mind, this isn't even the Pacers side of things. This is the Timberwolves. Now, I think it says second apron, blah, 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 blah. If you're going to dump any player, you're going to dump Karl-Anthony Towns or Rudy Gobert. You're not going to think about dumping Jaden McDaniels. I don't get it. I really despise what I just read. Darius Garland, this is Pelicans. Darius Garland to the Pelicans in exchange for Ingram and a 2025 first round pick. Definitely a good trade for the Cavaliers. But the Pelicans, here's the thing. The Pelicans make a trade for a guard. I don't want them to have two small guards. CJ McCollum's still on the roster. CJ McCollum and Darius Garland in the same backcourt would get exposed in the playoffs. And it wouldn't be a good match in the playoffs. So I, for one, do not want to see this at all because you can't have two small guards in the same backcourt in the NBA. We just keep seeing that time and time again. New York Knicks, this is the trade we're probably looking for. Mikal Bridges in exchange for Deuce McBride, Mitchell Robinson, pick 24, 2025 second round pick, 2026 first round, 2027 second round, and 2028 first round pick. I mean, if you compare the deal between the Knicks and Pacers, the Pacers have a better package. And ultimately, if it comes down to those two deals, the Pacers are going to get Mikal Bridges. And this isn't a great trade package for Mikal Bridges. Now, I know he had a down year, but we know what Mikal Bridges can do, especially as a third option. As a third option, he is a crazy good player. But yeah, I'm not in love with that trade to be 100. Oklahoma City Thunder, Denny Avdia in exchange for Josh Giddey, the 12th pick, and a 2025 first round pick. I do like this trade a lot. Denny Avdia provides a little bit more size as he's 6'9", I believe, maybe 6'10". That might be a stretch. But he has a high IQ. He's a player that can play the four really well and be a great connector. And can be my voice cracked one more time, I'm ending the video. He can be a great connector for this Thunder team. And if he goes there, like, he'll be at the power forward, he'll be having a role. Like, he can connect players, he can play off the ball. Only thing I worry about is three-point shooting, but he's not going to be Josh Giddey from three. And if you're the Wizards, it's a great package. Josh Giddey could be the Tyus Jones replacement, and pick number 12, good pick. And then 2025 first-round pick, that's top 14 protected. That's not the greatest, but Josh Giddey and pick 12 for Denny Avdia, I would do it. Not a bad trade. Not a great one either, but Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic received Anthony Simons, Cole Anthony, pick number 18, and Denver's 2025 first-round pick, top 5 protected. Why would the Trailblazers do that? Why would the Trailblazers do that? Why would the Trailblazers do that? Anthony Simons has shown us so many flashes of superstar, or at bare minimum, all-star potential. You think Cole Anthony, pick 18, and a Denver first-round pick is going to get the job done? Really? Like, again, it's things like these that just make it impossible to take these articles serious at times. Phoenix Suns. They get Dyson Daniels and Larry Nance for Yusuf Nurkic and pick number 22 in the draft. We get Dyson Daniels and Larry Nance Jr. I do want to trade Nurkic. I do want to call it controversial, but trading Grayson Allen would be ideal because his value is never going to be higher, and we could get so much in return. And he's a playoff choker. But Yusuf Nurkic for now, I mean, I don't mind it. But Dyson Daniels isn't really the point guard. Like, when we say the Suns need a point guard, we mean a facilitator. He's a good defender, but he's not at that level yet. Larry Nance Jr. is a good fit, though. I don't mind that at all. Philadelphia 76ers. Bogdan Bogdanovic and pick number 16, and Milwaukee's 2027 second-round pick. See, this is what I mean. The Atlanta Hawks need to keep him in his own deal because you can get more value for him. I like that fit on the 76ers, especially if you let Buddy Hield walk, which they should. Just because Buddy Hield's going to ask for too much money. Orlando Magic and Portland Trailblazers, another Anthony Simons trade for them. Anthony Black, I'm not even going to read it. Terrible. No. If that gets the job done, then, well, I don't even know what to say. Sacramento Kings, they get Dorian Finney-Smith in exchange for Davion Mitchell, Chris Duarte, and a top 10 protected 2027 first-round pick. I would do this in a heartbeat if I was the Kings. Dorian Finney-Smith has a lot more value than this package. Actually, I wouldn't say a lot more, but a decent amount more value. I think you could get more from another team than that, but that's just my opinion. San Antonio Spurs receive Malcolm Brogdon, Robert Williams, and the 34th pick in 2024 in exchange for Keldon Johnson and Zach Collins. Honestly, don't hate it, but do I love it? Not really. But I don't hate it. And I think Robert Williams and Wemby in a front court, good luck shooting the ball over them. Malcolm Brogdon as the lead guard would be good. Portland Trailblazers, I don't think they want Zach Collins given his first go around in Portland. And then Keldon Johnson, I just don't know why you think these two players could get you Malcolm Brogdon and Robert Williams. So because of that reason, that package was really weak for those players. I'm going to say no. Toronto Raptors received Moses Moody for Ochai Agbaji and pick number 31. Whatever. Utah Jazz, Cade Cunningham. Bleacher Report, you're so funny. Cade Cunningham in exchange for Keontae George, Taylor Hendricks, the 10th overall pick, 2025 first round pick, 2027 first round pick, and another 2027 first round pick. I mean, if I'm the Pistons, I'm honestly taking this. Keontae George showed you star flashes. Taylor Hendricks pretty good, and all this draft capital for Cade Cunningham. And you forget to factor in that Jaden Ivey does a lot and plays really well when Cade Cunningham's not there. So you're allowing Jaden Ivey and Keontae George to play. I'm intrigued. Now, I don't know if the Pistons would trade Cade Cunningham. He's probably the only untouchable player on the roster, and him and Jalen Duren, I should say. But yeah, I don't mind the trade. I like where they're going with it. It's just I don't know how realistic it is. And the last trade, the Washington Wizards received Josh Giddey and at least the least favorable pick of whatever that is in exchange for Kyle Kuzma. I mean, if you can get more for Kyle Kuzma than that. But yeah, that's the video. Let me know your thoughts on these trades. It was Bleacher Report, doing Bleacher Report things, so there's a lot of BS in here, but there were some decent trades, so I'm not mad. I give this overall list a B-. So yeah, y'all stay safe. Have a good one. Bye.